Yeah, very good. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. Thank you, Nicola. Thank you, Chavila, and everyone from Tushita Mahayana Meditation Center. And yes, it was exceptional that we had Saturdays. Usually, it should be every Wednesday. Yeah, we had Saturdays, but it was not in order to confuse you. It was just because of some issues. Yeah, but now it's solved. Yeah, so we should be able to meet every Wednesday. Okay, and so do you remember what we spoke about last time before we go into the slides? Okay, many people are too shy. So does anyone wish to just to recap a little bit what we saw a few days ago? Do you hear me properly? Yeah? No one wants to say
Hello. Let me give it a
hello.
shot. Yeah. You spoke about the syllogism
Yes.
and the subject, the predicate, and the reason. And what
Yeah.
I remember most vividly is your example of the target.
Oh yeah.
On that was very vivid on how the reason should be smaller than the
Yes.
predicate. That was
Exactly.
very vividly in my mind.
Wow, wonderful. Yeah, the most precious things are in your mind. Yeah, very good. Yes, exactly the target. And indeed, I forgot to use the slide of the target in those slides that we will see now. But if you got the point, yeah, I remember. Yeah, we spoke about the Guru Yoga. Yeah, if you want to, like for instance, there is one beautiful Guru Yoga of His Holiness the Dalai Lama when you visualize Arya Avalokiteshvara in his heart. Yeah, so if you want to join Arya Avalokiteshvara's heart, you necessarily join His Holiness Dalai Lama's heart. Yeah, because the first target, in one sense, the first goal is smaller than the predicate. Yeah, the reason is smaller than the predicate. Okay, so we will play with that again today. So I will need to share the screen. Yeah, Nicole. If I may share the screen. Oh, yes, I will. Okay, thank you. Wonderful. Good. Okay. So everyone should be able to see the picture, yeah? Yeah, it works? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Very good. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Okay. So we saw last time the syllogism and we will go further into that. Like this with the card. Okay, so the usual sample is this one. The subject sound is impermanent because it is produced. Yeah, so we spoke about that last time. So sound is the subject, the flowless subject of inquiry, the shen du chu chen kyu me in Tibetan. So we will just speak about the subject here, sound. Then the predicate is impermanent. Yeah. So the probandum would be sound is impermanent. Yeah. The subject and the predicate together is the thesis to be proved, the probandum. Yeah. Okay. Well, so when we speak about the predicate, we can also say the predicate of the probandum, but it's just a tiny point. And the reason is produced. Okay, so usually that's a perfect syllogism because the reason is established, sound is produced, or produced only exists with sound, which means every sound has to be produced. So that's the first relationship in the syllogism, the relationship between the subject and the reason. And now, when the defender has ascertained that the reason is established, then he has or she has to ascertain the relationship between the predicate and the reason. Yeah, the reason has to prove the predicate. Okay, so sound is produced. Yeah, so everybody agrees with that. So Would you disagree? Would anyone disagree that sound is produced? Or no? No, everybody knows that when we clap in the hands, sound is produced. Yeah, okay, very good. Very good. So we have to check after having ascertained that the subject, that the reason is established, that the reason is the property of the subject. Then we have in the second time to ascertain that if it is produced, it has to be impermanent. Yeah. So as Roy last said before, yes, we said that the reason, the extension of the reason has to be at least smaller than the extension of the predicate. But here in this case, it's coextensive, yeah, because impermanent and produced are equivalent, yeah. Everybody agrees? I cannot see the cam. So if you want to open your mic and just, yeah, you can if you wish, yeah. Okay. And okay. So this is the perversion, we could say the forward perversion, yeah, anvaya vyapti. And we need also to ascertain the counter perversion, yeah, the vyatireka vyapti. Okay, so if it is not impermanent, it is not produced. Yeah, that's the counter perversion, yeah. Is it okay for everyone up to now? Let's just check the cams.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank
Okay,
you.
very good. Thank you. Very good. Okay, so then we have seen how it works. So let's see another syllogism here. The subject, the person, is one because it's a phenomenon which is not diverse. Oh, who would say there's something wrong? Who would say that's okay, I would accept?
Looking at it without thinking too much, I would accept.
Okay. Yes. Okay. No, not Christine. Yeah.
No, will not accept, but yeah.
Okay, you would not accept. So you would not accept because the reason is not established or because there is no perversion. Like for instance, is the person, the subject, the person, a phenomenon which is not diverse? Or
Maybe I didn't really understand this. The fact is not diverse. In what I don't, not yet.
okay. Yes, because maybe you missed the previous classes. Yeah, that's why. But if you check the replay, Christine, la, you could yes understand that a phenomenon which is not diverse is the definition of one. Yeah. So one is the dichotomy with
Okay.
different. Yeah. One and different are a dichotomy. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so it means if it exists, it has to be one or different, yeah? Yeah, okay, so if it is one, it's a phenomenon because phenomenon means existent, yeah? It's a phenomenon which is not diverse, yeah? At least for the thought consciousness, it's not diverse, like just the person is just selected among all phenomena, and it is just one, it is not compared with anything else, yeah? Okay, very good. Yeah. So yes, like Nicola, I would accept as well. Yeah, the person is just isolated among all phenomena. So it's alone. It's one, and it is one because it's a phenomenon which is not diverse. Yeah. So one would be the definiendum, and a phenomenon which is not diverse would be the definition of one. Yeah. So we usually, it's not always the case, but in many cases, we tend to prove the definiendum by way of asserting the definition. Yeah. So it's not the way around, but I will not go in that detail for now. Okay, we cannot prove the definition by way of its definiendum. Yeah, we'll see that later. Okay. So it's a correct syllogism, yeah? The reason is established, the person is a phenomenon which is not diverse. And if it's a phenomenon which is not diverse, it's necessarily one, yeah? So there is the property of the subject, and there is the perversion. And now the counter perversion, if it is not one, it cannot be a phenomenon which is not diverse, yeah? Okay, so the reason is established, the person, if you put aside the predicate, you have the relationship between the subject and the reason, yeah? So that's the first job that we have to do, yeah? Is the person a phenomenon which is not diverse? Yes, yeah? Okay, so now if it is a phenomenon which is not diverse, is it one? Yes, necessarily. And if it is not one, it can't be the phenomenon which is not diverse. That's the counter perversion. So if we have the three criterias for the syllogism to be valid, so that's okay. We have a perfect proof. Yeah, is that okay for everyone? Okay, wow, wonderful. Okay, so here that's the counter perversion. Yeah, if it is not one, sorry, one word is missing here. If it is not one, it is not a phenomenon which is not diverse. Yeah, okay, very good. Okay, so now something important is that when the challenger is asserting a consequence, it can be a two-part consequence or a three-part consequence. A three-part consequence is another word for a syllogism. Yeah. So here, a two-part consequence is just one thesis. We don't prove our point. Yeah. So the challenger would say it follows that the subject sound is impermanent. So a two-part consequence because we have only a subject and a predicate. Yeah, we have only a probandum. Okay, so in this case, we have two ways to answer for the defender. Yeah, not many. We cannot waffle so much during debate. Sometimes people are joking and they say no waffling, like Gen Losel says many times, no waffling. So that's why we tend to hit the point, yeah, during the debate. Okay, so if we accept, if it's okay, if the two-part consequence is okay, we just say accept. Duh. And if there is something wrong, we say why. It's another way to say I don't agree. Yeah, chi. I don't agree. That's okay. So literally it means why. Yeah, okay. So that's why we try to stick with the terminology used in debate. Okay. So only two kinds of answers are possible for a two-part consequence. It's easy. Two-part consequence, two types of answers. Yeah? Okay. Good. So now a three-part consequence, as we said, is a syllogism. Yeah? It follows that the subject sound is impermanent because it is produced. So now we give a reason. So we have a three-part consequence. We have the subject, predicate, and proof, and reason. Yeah? Is that okay? Very good. So we have four types of answer. Accept if everything is okay. The reason is not established. What would it mean? Who would say, who would like to tell us what means the reason is not established? Who dares?
It's if the reason is not a property or characteristic of the subject.
Yes, exactly, Zigrunla, yes. So in this case, produced, if the reason is not established, then produced would not only exist with sound. Yeah. So yes, as you say, in this case, produced would not be characteristic of the subject. Yeah, in that very case. Yeah. Okay. So, but it is, yeah. So we cannot say that the reason is not established. It is established, yeah. Okay, very good. So now when it is established, if we say no perversion, so being produced would not prove impermanent, being impermanent. Yeah, if we say no perversion, yeah. So like if I say, for instance, it follows that the subject sound is impermanent because it is selfless. Yeah, of course, sound is selfless because everything is empty of having or being a substantial, sufficient self. Okay, so I would say sound is impermanent because it is selfless. Yes, it is selfless. Okay, so the reason is established, but no perversion. If it is selfless, it's not necessarily impermanent. Yeah, yeah. Also, permanent phenomena are selfless, and even non-existent are selfless. Yeah. So then we would say no perversion. Yeah. Okay. Then the perversion is opposite. That's another way to reply. Like for instance, if I say the subject sound is permanent because it is produced. Yeah, sound is permanent because it is produced. The reason is established, but the perversion is opposite. Being produced proves the opposite of being permanent. Yeah? Do you agree? Or not? Being produced proves the opposite of permanent. Yeah. If we say the subject sound is permanent because it is produced, produced proves impermanent and not permanent. Yeah. So the perversion would be opposite, but that case is a little bit less found in the debates, because if the reason the perversion is opposite, in that case the challenger is not very lucid. Maybe needs to sleep or to be more active. But in that case, yeah, we tend to prove the opposite of what we wanted to prove on the first place. So that's a bit another kind of situation. Yeah. Okay. So we will have some samples. Okay. Okay. Just the comes here. Okay. Okay. So usually in Tibetan, we don't say, well, I guess, but it's a way to translate in, for instance, in pointing the way to reasoning. Yeah. From Serme Kensulo Son Tachin Rinpoche. That's another way in English to say that, because in Tibetan it would be, for instance, Chigitseni Shagumi Pechir. So because you don't know the definition of one, but we haven't said anything first. So in French or in English, that would be a little bit weird to say because, yeah, from the start, from the very start. So it's just a way to translate. Yeah. Well, I guess that you don't know the definition of one. So what would you reply? Who wants to answer to the challenger? Well, I guess that you don't know the definition of one.
Reason not established.
Yes, exactly. He won't lie. Yeah? He won't lie. Yeah, very good. Exactly. That's the very first type of answer given by the defender. Yeah, the reason is not established. Yeah, because in Tibetan we say "Chigitsini shagime pe chir," because you don't know, as if we give the end of a syllogism. Yeah, so that's why the very first answer given in a very how do you say, formal debate, the defender would say the reason is not established. It's just the way to answer at on the first spot. Okay, then now the challenger. Sorry, I hear some. Sorry, yeah, could you repeat?
Well, anyway, you do whatever you want because I don't have any jobs for you.
Okay, Rocio, we hear you. Yeah, Rocio.
So the plates are
Okay, sorry. Okay, so So then the challenger would assert the opposite consequence. Yeah. Then it follows that you know the definition of one. Yeah. Yeah, that's logical. So what would you say? Who wants to reply? You would agree, no? That you know the definition of one. So if you agree, you would say accept. Yeah, good. Accept. Oh, okay, so I missed one slide. Okay. Okay, pause it. What is the definition of one? Who has it?
It cannot differentiate it by a direct perceiver. Or it
Ah,
cannot appear. Oh no. Oh. Mist.
yeah.
Phenomenon that is not diverse.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, Nicolas. A phenomenon which is not diverse. Very good. Okay, so that's the definition of one. Yeah, okay. The subject, so in a formal debate, the defender would say the subject, a phenomenon which is not diverse, but it's just a tiny point. Yeah, we can just say a phenomenon which is not diverse. That's okay. Okay. Well, it follows that the subject, a phenomenon which is not diverse, is the definition of one. Yeah, so the challenger is repeating in one sense to be sure that both sides agree on the assertion. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So it follows that the subject, a phenomenon which is not diverse, is the definition of one. Yeah. So we would agree. Yeah. Okay. Yep. 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 Very good. Okay. So that was the first introduction. So now we will play a little bit after the tea break because the monks are running so fast. It can be very dangerous sometimes. Okay. Okay, so I don't see the okay. I don't see the top of my slide. So it follows that the subject observed by valid cognition exists because it is the definition of existent. What would you say? So I will put it again. It follows that the subject observed by valid cognition exists because it is the definition of existent. So what is the first job is to check the property of the subject, yeah? Is the subject observed by valid cognition existent? Does it exist, that definition? Or did I invent that in my fantasy?
Yes, it exists.
It exists, exactly, yes. So the property of the subject is there, yeah? Yeah, the reason is established, yeah? So now the second step is there any perversion, yeah? If it exists, sorry, if it is the definition of existent, does it necessarily exist? If it is the definition of existent, so yeah, the property of the subject was it is the definition of existent, yeah, not only existent, yeah, sorry. So yes, observed by valid cognition is the definition of existent, yeah, so the property of the subject is there. And now, is there any perversion, yeah? If it is the definition of existent, does it necessarily exist? Yes, Chavila. Yes, you agree, yeah? Very good. Thank you. Yes, exactly. Yeah, because yes, we will learn the definitions and the definiendums a bit later. But just to tell you now, the definition of a definition is the triply qualified substantial existent. So it has to exist. Yeah, if it's a definition, it has to exist. Yeah. Okay. So it's just a further point for in order to get in the definitions later. The definition of a definition, the definition of a definiendum, and so on, yeah? Okay, So yes, observed by a valid cognition is the definition of existent. Okay, and if it is the definition of existent, it has to exist. Yeah, do you agree? Okay, because a definition is a triply qualified substantial existent. Yeah, it's in the definition of definition. Okay, okay. Okay, so accept. Yeah, I accept. If it is the definition of existent, it has to exist. Yeah, so observed by valid cognition exists. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so it follows that the subject observed by valid cognition exists because it is a definition. Yeah, it's a little bit simpler. Do you agree? Is the subject observed by valid cognition a definition? Checking in the notes.
No, it's the definition, not a. What?
Yes. Yet it's a definition, yeah. It's one among many definitions, yeah, because it's the definition of existent. Yeah, existent. Yueba in Tibetan, yeah. Okay, observe by valid cognition, yet sememikpa. Yeah. Okay, so observe by valid cognition, because it is the definition of existent, it has to be a definition, no? Yes. Okay, very good. Okay, so it follows that the subject observed by valid cognition exists because it is a definition. I would accept. Yeah? Not you? Don't you accept? Who wants to debate further about that point? No debate. Okay, so everybody accepts. Okay. Okay. So, something a bit crunchy here. It follows that if it is contradictory with functioning thing, it's necessarily permanent. Oh, this one is a bit vicious. Who would say accept? Who would say why? Yeah, because it's only a two-part consequence, yeah? Yes.
Why?
Why? Oh, why for Nicolas? So it follows that if it is contradictory with functioning thing, it's not necessarily permanent.
Accept.
Okay, it's not necessarily permanent because?
Because I can posit something which is contradictory with functioning thing and is not permanent.
Oh, wow. What would it be?
A non-existent.
A non-existent, like for instance, horn of the rabbit or unicorn, yeah? So take the subject unicorn. It follows that it exists because it is different and with no common base.
The reason is not established.
Okay, but you posted it. Okay, so it follows that the blue unicorn is not different.
Accept.
Is not different because?
Because it's not a phenomenon.
Yes, so if it's not a phenomenon, it cannot be different.
Accept.
Okay, so if it's not different, can it be contradictory?
Yeah, maybe not. No, because it's not a phenomenon.
Yeah, exactly, yes. So contradictory, if you remember well, the definition is different and no common base. Yeah, so it has to exist. It has to be a diverse phenomenon. Yeah, because diverse phenomenon is the definition of different. So if it is contradictory, it has to be different. Of course, it's not the way around. If it is different, it's not necessarily contradictory. Yeah, for instance, water and cold water. They are different. They are not contradictory, yeah? But if it is contradictory, it has to be different, yeah? Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So could you posit? Okay, so I will try to go further in that case. So I will repeat. it follows that if it is contradictory with functioning thing, it's necessarily permanent. So is it clear for everyone the meaning of functioning thing? Yeah, functioning thing. Usually we could just say thing, like in Sanskrit bhava or ngopo in Tibetan. We don't say functioning. It's just like implied in the definition of functioning thing. Yeah, the definition of functioning thing is that which is able to perform a function. Yeah, so it has to be impermanent. Yeah, okay. So we could just say thing, but it's so so well used functioning thing that I will keep it. Yeah, okay. So it follows that if it is contradictory with functioning thing, it's necessarily permanent. Accept, or why Chavila tends to accept.
Accept.
Okay, unless it's your poker face. Okay, yeah, someone else accepted. Yeah, who was it?
Me accept.
Yeah, okay, Zingrunla, no?
Yes.
Okay, because I don't see all the cams. Yeah, okay, very good. Accept. Oh, so we have two accept. Yeah, and Nicola, did you change your mind, or maybe not?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Yeah, you're right to be not sure. Okay, we will try to see that point. Okay. Okay. I forgot that I have something funny here.
It's me
Okay.
right now.
Yeah. Okay. So if you remember well, we have existent, and among existent we have permanent and impermanent. Okay. So and the three main categories of impermanent are form or matter, cognition or consciousness, and non-associated compositional factor or phenomenon. Yeah, an impermanent, a functioning thing which is neither form nor consciousness. Yeah. Okay. So of course it's one of the divisions. Yeah, we could have the five aggregates, for instance. Yeah, we could have impermanent divided into five, the five aggregates. That would work as well. Okay. But here it's the main division used in the formal debate. So if it is impermanent, it has to be form or cognition, or an impermanent functioning thing which is not form and not consciousness. Yeah, is it okay for everyone? I just want to be sure that it's okay for everyone. Otherwise, we can repeat again. Yeah.
Can you repeat? And what is CSC? Can you repeat the?
Yes. Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. CSC is a kind of nickname for consciousness. Yeah, consciousness. Yeah. Okay. Because it's a long word and very difficult to put in the in the design. And NACP is a non-associated compositional phenomenon. Yeah, it's the nickname or acronym for that. Yeah, it's a kind of very specific type of existence. We call it viprayukta samskara. Yeah? It has to be compositional samskara, and viprayukta, it is not associated with consciousness. Yeah, it is not, we could say, fused with consciousness, or it is not associated with consciousness, non-associated compositional phenomenon. So it's any impermanent phenomenon which is not form and is not consciousness. Like, for instance, who has any example?
Time.
Time, yeah, Twila, time, for instance, yeah. Time, we could say also the seeds, like imprints, yeah, the karmic seeds, or we could say also the seeds of the afflictions. We could say also impermanence. Impermanence itself is an NECP, yeah. Okay, very good. Okay, is that a little bit more clear for you, Christine, now? Christine?
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, very
Much more.
good, very good. Okay, so the three types of impermanent or functioning things. Okay, and you know that form is contradictory with consciousness, and consciousness also is contradictory with form, and they are also contradictory with NACP. Yeah, each type of subdivision of impermanent are mutually contradictory. Yeah, okay, so if it's the one, it cannot be the other. Yeah, okay, very good. So if we say that if it is contradictory with functioning thing, it has to be permanent, that would be some kind of issue, something very specific here. We will see that. Okay. For instance, if you select a smallest particle and the mango, for instance, okay. So you have the set of the two, yeah? The set of the two is one set. Do you agree? Yeah, we have one bag, and in that bag we put a smallest particle, for instance, an atom, yeah, or anything else as you wish, and the mango, yeah. So the set itself is impermanent, yeah. A particle and a mango all together, they are impermanent. Do you agree? But they are contradictory with impermanence. Why? Everyone is puzzled. You think, well, Christophe, today is totally...
So like when you say the set of the two, it could be, for example, the mango and the pot, is that it?
Yes, yeah, we could have mango and pot, yeah, or pot and pilar, exactly, yes, that's true. Yeah, it's easier, it's simpler in one sense. Pot and mango, yeah, for instance. Pot and mango, they are impermanent, and the whole set itself is impermanent, yeah? Do you agree? Like when we say form, feelings, discriminations, compositional factors, and consciousness, yeah, they are all impermanent. The whole set of aggregates is impermanent. Yeah, do you agree?
Yes.
Okay, but the whole set of the aggregates is contradictory with impermanent. Why? Because there is no common base between all the members of the set. Like there is no common base between pot and mango. So if there is no common base between pot and mango, there cannot be any common base between pot and mango and impermanent. Do you follow me?
So it
maybe not.
means if there is no common base between the two elements of that set, therefore there could not be any common base between that set itself and the another thing.
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's very well summarized there. Thank you so much. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because there is no common base in the multiverse of Doctor Strange between a particle and a mango, or a pot and a mango. There cannot be any common base between a pot and a mango and impermanent. So it is one of the puzzling things in the Sautrantika mainly, but also in other schools. The whole set pot and mango is impermanent, but is contradictory with impermanent. Wow.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't understand that.
Yeah. Yeah, because like for instance, okay. Okay. I will try to choose something. Okay. Like, do you remember what we meant when we said contradictory? Yeah? The definition of contradictory.
Yes, if something is one, it cannot be the other.
Yes, in one sense, we could say like this. Okay. So, like for instance, pot will never be a mango, and a mango will never be a pot. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So still the whole set, yeah, all together, mango and pot, they are impermanent. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, they are impermanent. Still, they are contradictory with impermanent because nothing can be at the same time pot, mango, and impermanent.
Okay, yeah,
Mm,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's crazy, no?
Yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah. So that's why usually when we have that kind of debate, when we try to compare contradictory with impermanent and contradictory with permanent, we have 4P. Okay, so we will see that another day. But for today, it's important to know that we have phenomena or objects of knowledge of which being them is impossible. Okay, so I wanted to speak about that today because it's one of the divisions of permanent phenomena in Jungzin Dura. But also we could apply that to any kind of category. We can have impermanent, impossible to be, existent, impossible to be, form, impossible to be, and so on. Yeah, it means that that they have no common base. Yeah, so like for instance, Barack and Michelle Obama. Barack and Michelle Obama, it's an object of knowledge, impossible to be, because nothing in the universe can be at the same time or can be both Barack and Michelle Obama. Yeah, so the whole set, the couple, is a functioning thing, impossible to be. There's nothing which is both members of the whole set. Yeah. Do you agree? It's a bit confusing at first glance, but when we get used in that, we can play with that more easily. Yeah. Okay. So yes, as you saw, nothing in the universe can be both a pot and a mango. So nothing can be at the same time pot, mango, and existent, or pot, mango, and impermanent. Yeah. So the whole set pot and mango is contradictory with impermanent. Still, it is impermanent. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so why do we speak about that? Because sometimes we tend uh, to say that the person is the whole set of the aggregates, the 5 aggregates. Yeah, sometimes we tend to think that. We tend to think, okay, oh, I am the person and I am the 5 aggregates. But the 5 aggregates are impermanent or functioning things impossible to be. And nothing can be the 5 aggregates at the same time. There is no common base between all the members of the 5 aggregates. So it's very useful to go a little bit deeper in the selfless, yeah, to check that the aggregates are not the person. There is nothing which can be 5 aggregates. Because in the aggregates you have form and non-form. Like consciousness is non-form. Do you agree? And form is non-consciousness. So the person could not be form and not form. And the person could not be consciousness and not consciousness. So that's why there is no common base between the whole set of the 5 aggregates. So it's very useful to check, to analyze a little bit the selflessness, yeah, of the person. Is it going too fast, or should I repeat?
Actually, you're talking about the ultimate reality with that.
Yes, but not only that, because we can see that it's only in the Sotrantika here. Yeah, we are not yet in the Madhyamaka. So in the Madhyamaka, for instance, when Nagarjuna is checking if the person is one or different with the aggregates, Nagarjuna is looking for an inherent person. Yeah, that would be inherently one or inherently different from inherent aggregates. But it's not our case now. In the Sotrantika, we understand very quickly that nothing can be the whole set of the aggregates. Yeah, and that the parts and the whole are contradictory. So you cannot find the whole in the parts because they are contradictory. Yeah. So in the Sotrantika, we are getting first in that, but in the Madhyamaka, it's much more profound. Yeah, where in the Sotrantika, we are not checking, we are not looking for any inherent person. It's just like it's normal, inherent person, inherent aggregates. For the Sotrantika, it's just normal. Yeah. So they are not even checking that. But even the Sotrantika are able to see that one table and 5 parts of the table are contradictory. No? One table is not 5 parts of the table. Yeah? And 5 parts of the table are not one table. Yeah, because there is nothing which can be the 5 parts of the aggregates. So the 5 parts of the table or the 5 parts of the person and so on. Yeah. Okay. So it's a bit puzzling, so I'm sorry to put that now, but it's very useful as well. And yeah, especially for the analytical meditation, yeah, about when we check where is the person among the aggregates and so on. At here, the Sotrantika are able to say that one whole cannot be its parts, yeah, and the parts cannot be the whole set. Yeah, 1 and 5 are mutually contradictory. Yeah, 1 person and 5 aggregates are sorry. Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, okay, who was it? Yeah, someone raised a hand, please.
Yes, Christophe. So when you talk about set, is that a collection?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Because in that case, we speak about collection generality. Yeah, when we will learn the generalities, we will see that any gross form which is made of many parts is a collection generality. It's a collection, and nothing is the all members all together at the same time. Yeah. So for instance, yeah, pot and pillar. Pot and pillar is a collection generality. It's a gross form, but nothing is a pot and a pillar. Yeah. So pot and pillar are impermanent, but still are contradictory with impermanent. They are existent, but they are contradictory with existent. Okay, but we had something similar for horn of the rabbit, for instance. Horn of the rabbit is not existent, but still horn of the rabbit is not contradictory with existent. In one sense, is a little bit same, no? But in one sense only. Yeah, horn of the rabbit is not existent, but is not contradictory with existent because it's not different from existent. So we saw that before, yeah? And now it's a bit another way around. Yeah, pot and pillar are existent, but are still contradictory with existent. Wow. Beautiful philosophy. To get crazy sometimes. Okay. Okay. So we could not say that the whole set, like here, for instance, the particle and mango are permanent. Yeah. So they are contradictory with impermanent, but they are not permanent because they are form, mango, particle, pot, pillar, and so on. They are matter, and matter is necessarily impermanent. So it's not because it is contradictory with impermanent that it has to be permanent. Yeah? Okay, very good. Very good. Okay, so something else here. It follows that the subject, the continuum of mind, is permanent because it is eternal. Oh. So is it a two-part consequence or three-part consequence? That's what we have to know in order to be sure how many types of answer are available. Yeah? Yes, three-part
It's three
consequence.
parts. Yeah.
Very good. So how many types of answer do we have? Oh, yeah, very good. Sometimes we have a fifth one. I remember when Gengawan Jimba many years ago spoke about that. He said that in Jebungomong, but maybe not only in Jebungomong, we have also sometimes Tetsamsa. We have doubt. I have doubt. I don't know what you speak about. Yeah. So there is that type of assertion as well. And in the new books from Tupten Jimba also initiated by His Holiness, science and philosophy in Indian classical texts, you know, this new series. In the first volume, we can see that as well. Yeah, Tetsamsa. Yeah, there is doubt, but it's much rare. Usually we know what we speak about. Yeah. So usually we have four types of answers for a three-part consequence. Yeah. So that's consequences. It follows that the subject, the continuum of mind, is permanent because it is eternal. So who would say accept? Who would say the reason is not established? Who would say no perversion? Or even, why not? The perversion is opposite. Chavila.
The continuum of the mind
Yes.
is not eternal.
Mhm.
So the reason is not a characteristic of the subject.
Okay. Okay. So what would mean eternal?
That would be not impermanent.
Ah, okay. Yes, yes, yes. I see. Okay. So yeah, in the maybe yes, in the non maybe yeah, maybe in the non I would say non-Tibetan language. So in other languages, like in European languages and other languages, when we speak about eternal, yes, we tend to see something permanent. But eternal can mean something that endures forever, no?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And what is the definition of permanent?
Which endures forever.
Okay. Yeah. So it follows that, okay, nice. So it follows that the selflessness of my cup endures forever because it is permanent. So even when my cup will be broken, its selflessness will remain forever?
No, it won't. No.
Ah, but still it is permanent, yeah? Because,
Yeah.
because the definition of permanent is?
Mm. No, it doesn't change moment by moment.
Oh, so it follows that the definition of permanent is not changing moment by moment. Yeah, so it follows that a blue unicorn is permanent because it's not changing moment by moment.
Yeah, I'm
So,
stuck. Yeah.
yeah, no problem. So, because we tend to forget phenomenon in the definition, yeah. It has to exist and it cannot change moment by moment, yeah, in order to be permanent, yeah. It has to
Yeah.
exist, yeah. So that's why the
That's right.
definition is a phenomenon which is not momentary, yeah. So the
Right.
definition given by Yonzin Purbuchok is a bit longer, but the meaning is the same. Yeah, it should on Kechima Maimba Shitumba. Yeah, common base between phenomenon and non-momentary. Yeah, but it's the same meaning to say a phenomenon which is not momentary. Yeah. So it has to
Yeah.
exist and it cannot change moment by moment. But still the mind is changing moment by moment. Yeah. The continuum of mind, it changes again and again each time, each passing time, each passing second and so on. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
Yes.
yes, the continuum of mind is not permanent. Still, we could say it is eternal. So there is no perfect perversion between permanent and eternal. Yeah. Yeah. Eternal means that which endures forever, and permanent means it's not. It exists and it's not changing moment by moment. It can exist for a very short moment of time. For instance, if you have lightning in the sky, when you have a storm, yeah, a lightning in the sky, is the lightning in the sky selfless or not? Yes, c'est un moment-là, and Chavila, and he won't lie, everybody agrees. The lightning in the sky is selfless. Okay, is selflessness permanent or impermanent? Selflessness, non-self. Is it permanent? Is it changing moment by moment? Or is it a phenomenon which is not changing moment by moment?
It's permanent.
It's permanent because?
It's not changing moment by moment, and it's
Oh,
existent.
yes, exactly. Exactly. But how long endures the selflessness of a lightning in the sky?
Only as long as the lightning endures.
Yes.
Very
So
short.
a very short moment of time, yeah. Still, it is permanent as long as it exists. A few seconds, not a few seconds, like shorter than that, yeah. So as long as it exists, it is permanent, even for a very, very brief period of time, yeah. Okay, so it can be permanent and endure forever. It can be permanent and eternal, but it can be permanent, temporary permanent. Like those are the two main divisions of permanent phenomena. Permanent phenomena which endure, yeah. Du tembet takpa in Tibetan, du tembet takpa, phenomena which are permanent and they endure forever, and temporary permanent phenomena, like the selflessness of a lightning in the sky. It is very short, it doesn't remain for a long time, but still, as long as it exists, it is permanent, like the selflessness of my cup. When my cup will be destroyed one day, the selflessness of my cup will not survive. It will cease as well, no? But as long as it existed, it was permanent. Yeah. Do you agree? You can disagree, yeah? If you disagree, we can debate. If you agree, then no discussion. Okay. So, yes. Uh, yes, so those are the two main divisions of permanent phenomena. And also in Yongzin Purbuchok's textbook, we have also permanent phenomena possible to be and permanent phenomena impossible to be. Yeah, so two very different types of divisions of permanent phenomena. Yeah? Okay. So, like for instance, permanent phenomena impossible to be, we could say space in the east and space in the west. Yeah, it's permanent. The whole set is permanent, but nothing can be both space in the east and space in the west. Yeah, do you agree? What could be at the same time space in the east and space in the west? Nothing, yeah? Okay, so the whole set, space in the east and space in the west, is permanent. but nothing is that. Yeah, so it's a permanent phenomenon, impossible to be. Or another way to express that, a permanent phenomenon of being which is impossible. Of which being it, I don't remember how we say in English. Permanent phenomenon of which being it is impossible. Okay, I prefer to say a simple thing, yeah? Okay, permanent phenomenon impossible to be. Yeah, okay. Wow. Permanent phenomena impossible to be, and we have permanent phenomena possible to be. For instance, do you have an example, an illustration for permanent phenomena possible to be?
Uncompounded space and existent.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, very good. Chavila, you had another illustration maybe.
I didn't understand what she said.
Ah, okay.
Example, excuse me.
So what did you say? Who was it? It was maybe Twila, no?
Yes, it was my illustration is uncompounded space and existent.
Yeah. Uncompounded space is permanent, and the generality existent is permanent. So both are permanent, but still there are many things, there are many common base between both. Yeah, and compounded space in the east, and compounded space in the north, and compounded space in the southwest. Yeah, so there are many permanent phenomena which are at the same time uncompounded space and existent. Yeah, so just to make it simple, when we have permanent phenomena possible to be, you have necessarily common base. But for permanent phenomena impossible to be, they are necessarily contradictory. Yeah, you have no common base at all. Okay, very good. Very good. Is that a little bit more clear? Or not? Okay. So even sometimes we miss some points. Yeah, it happens, of course. Yeah, because as I told you, I don't have the pedagogical skills of my teachers, so I can miss some points. Yeah, but still, we will repeat them. We will play again and again with that. So slowly, it will come a little bit easier. Yeah, as the Bodhisattva Shantideva said, yeah, there is nothing which cannot become easier with habituation, yeah, with training, yeah. Okay, okay. So eternal means it endures forever, and permanent means it exists, and it's not changing moment by moment. So if we compare both, how many points? Oh, permanent and eternal.
I
Could
think
be
it's 4 points.
4 points. Okay. 4 points for Zigrunla. Muji in Tibetan, yeah? Wow. Okay, 4 points. So we need to check if there is something which can be both, yeah, permanent and eternal, yeah?
My mental continuum.
Oh, your mental continuum is permanent.
Oh, the selflessness of my mental continuum.
Yes. Yes, the selflessness of your mental consciousness. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Because we could say that your subtle mental consciousness has no beginning, no end. Yeah. So the selflessness of this continuum of mind has no beginning and no end. Yeah. And it is permanent, the selflessness, because it's a mere negation. Yeah, it's a non-affirming negation, yeah? Okay, so any mere absence is necessarily permanent. And this one, the selflessness of the subtle continuum of mind, is permanent and has no beginning nor end. So it is both permanent and eternal, yeah? Wow, very profound. So now what can we, is there any illustration of permanent and not eternal?
Absence of lightning.
Oh, yes. Yes, c'était vraiment là. Absence of lightning in the sky. Yeah. So absence of lightning in the sky is permanent because
It's a negation.
yes, because it's a negation. We could say because it's a non-affirming negation. Yeah, because we have affirming negations as well, and they can be impermanent. Yeah, like for instance, the opposite of not being a cup. The opposite of not being a cup is a negation, but it's an affirming negation because it affirms cup. Yeah, and it's impermanent. Yeah. But if we say non-affirming negation, yeah, it's sure that it is permanent, yeah, because there is no substance that can transform, yeah. Okay, very good. Yeah, very good. C'est un bon mot là. So what was it? What was the illustration?
Absence of lightning in the sky.
Yes, thank you. Yes, it is permanent and it is not eternal. It is not eternal because
Because it lasts only till the lightning is there.
yes, exactly. When the lightning in the sky arises, then the absence of lightning in the sky ceases. Yes. So it's not eternal, yeah, because I'm sure there are some lightnings in the sky now somewhere in the world. I hope. Yeah, it's good for the health of the climate. Okay. Very, very sick climate. Okay. So sorry?
May I ask a question, please?
Please, yes, please.
So the reason, if it is the negation, what did you just answer as the reason?
Yes, if it is a negation, it's not necessarily permanent. Yeah, because for instance, if I say, okay, a room, or I could say, okay, a tea without sugar, is it a negation?
Yes,
Yes, and it is a non-affirming negation or an affirming negation?
non-affirming.
Ah, okay. Okay. So if I had said, okay, lack of sugar in the tea, the lack of sugar in my tea. Yeah, the lack of sugar is a mere negation. Yeah, it is located in my tea, so the tea is not affirmed in place of the object of negation. It's just the location, the localization of the absence of sugar, yeah, the lack of sugar. So if I said the lack of sugar in my tea, it would have been a non-affirming negation. But if I say a sugarless tea, I'm affirming the tea. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm negating the sugar in the tea. Yeah. Of the tea, I would say. So in that case, yeah, a sugarless tea is an affirming negation. Yeah. No?
So lack of sugar or
Yeah.
sugarless tea is affirming negation.
So the lack of sugar in the tea is a non-affirming negation.
Okay.
And a sugarless tea is an affirming negation because we affirm the tea. Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then the absence of lightning in the sky, it follows it is permanent because
it is a non-affirming negation. And this non-affirming negation is located in the sky. So the sky is not affirmed in the place of the object of negation.
so if it is the negation, affirming negation, it follows it is permanent.
Non-affirming negation, yeah, but an affirming negation can be permanent. Oh, sorry, Trila. Do you speak about just in general affirming negation or an illustration of that?
I would like just to understand the pervasion here.
Yeah.
Take
Okay.
absence of lightning in the sky, it follows it is permanent because?
Yeah, it is permanent because it is a non-affirming negation.
Okay, so if it is non-affirming negation, it follows
Oh.
it is permanent.
Yes, a non-affirming negation. Yeah, if it is a non-affirming negation, it's necessarily permanent.
Okay, it is necessary. And then the non-affirming negation is different from affirming negation.
Yes, they are contradictory.
Contradictory. Yeah, okay. And the illustration of non-affirming negation is the lack of sugar in tea.
Yes, or absence of lightning in the sky. Yeah, or selflessness, or what can we say as well? Like uncompounded space. Yeah.
Yes, and what is the illustration for affirming negation?
Like for instance, a tea without sugar.
That I'm confused because for me there's simple.
Okay.
Yes.
I would say something else. Yeah. The opposite of not being a cup. Bumba maimba le lopa. The opposite of not being a cup.
So what is how about non-cup? What is it?
Non-cup is a non-affirming negation, but non-cup is an affirming negation because what does it affirm?
Cup.
Non-cup.
Cup.
Yes, exactly. Non-cup is an affirming negation and it is impermanent. Yeah.
Mm.
If we speak about that non-cup, because in Buddhist philosophy, maybe we will see that later, we have two types of shensel, exclusions. Yeah. We have exclusions which are swalakshana or impermanent, and we have exclusions which are mental exclusions. Those, the last ones, are permanent. Yeah. Okay, so we will we will see that later. But that cup, this cup here, yeah, you agree that it is impermanent?
Except.
Yeah? And this non-cup is still impermanent, yeah?
Yeah.
It is just grasped at by the thought consciousness by way of eliminating explicitly an object of negation. But that's still the same cup which is apprehended as an affirmation or positive phenomenon or a negation, an affirming negation. Yeah, this non-cup is impermanent. It's a swalakshana. It's a specifically characterized phenomenon. And it is an affirming negation.
So if it is affirming negation, it follows it is impermanent.
Not necessarily.
Okay, thank you so much. I will have to process a little
Yeah,
bit more.
yes, we need to precise. Like for instance, space and compounded space, which is not in the East.
You are asking the relationship between A space and B. Is that it, or?
No, sorry. For instance, I try to posit an illustration of an affirming negation, which is permanent. Yeah. So we would say, like, yeah, for instance, the opposite of not being uncompounded space. The opposite of not being uncompounded space. It's still an affirming negation, but this one is permanent because what do we assert when we say the opposite of not being uncompounded space? The opposite of not being, or we could say non-uncompounded space. That's the same, yeah? Non-uncompounded space, we have uncompounded space, yeah? So it's an affirming negation, which is permanent. Yeah, so that's why we have many affirming negations which are impermanent, many affirming negations which are impermanent. So affirming negation itself is permanent.
Christopher, I have a question. Can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yes.
Okay. So how I understand affirming negative from how Geshe-la explained it is, I do not sleep during day.
Yeah.
is an affirming negative because it means night.
Yeah.
How can I relate it to what you're saying as not of something?
Mhm. Yes. I'm not eating during the day. So, because we have a few types of affirming negation. Yeah. Some imply only the phenomenon in place of the object of negation. Like in this case, when we say I don't eat during the day because we know that we have to eat as ordinary beings and so on, it means that we eat during the night. Yeah, so it's implied. The affirmation is only implied in that case. But in the opposite of not being cup, in this case, it's not implied, it's explicitly said. Yeah. So there are different types of affirming negations. You could see that in Anne Klein's book, yeah, Knowledge and Liberation. Yeah, there is a specific section in that which is very clear about that. Yeah. I think it comes from a great Indian master from the past. I think it's from Avalokitavrata, but I need to double check in the books. Yeah, this distinction between the affirming negations. Yeah, usually they speak about 4 types of affirming negations. Yeah, good, very good. Like when for instance, if you go, like you have a meeting with people, and some people want to introduce you some other people, yeah, and you know that this meeting is among Indian and Tibetan people, yeah. There are only Indian and Tibetan people, and you would say, oh, okay, oh, I don't know where they come from, and your friend would say, I'm sure they are not Tibetan. So what does it mean?
They are Indians.
Yes, exactly. So it's implied in one sense, yeah. Yeah, very good. Okay, so just checking the time. Oh, no more slides. I just wanted to check the time. I don't see it.
I miss the music. Usually when I see that, there's a music.
Okay. Yes, exactly. So, okay. So, yes, if you have a few minutes, we'll try to recap a little bit what we saw today. Yeah. Okay. So we haven't finished that debate, yeah, eternal and permanent. But if you wish for next time to find some illustrations, yeah, if you found 4p, 3p, and so on, try to find some illustrations, and we will try to go further in that. So today we saw the syllogism. Okay, the syllogism is a 3-part consequence, and we have 4 types of answer, yeah, available. And for 2-part consequence, 2 types of answer, easy. Okay, so then if we know well those answers, like the reason is not established, no perversion, and the perversion is opposite, it's very useful when we want to study Tariq, the logic, yeah? Because usually speaking, we have 3 types of wrong syllogisms, yeah? Non-established syllogism, or non-established reason, we could say, indefinite reason for no perversion, and opposite reason for the perversion is opposite, yeah? We have madrupetensi, manyepetensi, and we have gewetensi, gelta. So that's very important, yeah? That's why we have those 3 types of answers, yeah? But if the syllogism is perfect, then accept, yeah? Okay, very good. Then, okay. And we tried to see, yes, something crazy, yeah, like like pot and pillar are impermanent, but they are contradictory with impermanent. They are form, but they are contradictory with form. Yeah, the 5 aggregates are contradictory with the person. Yeah, wow. So the person cannot be the 5 aggregates. Incredible. Wow. And also something like a division, like a permanent, impossible to be, but we have object of knowledge, impossible to be, form, impossible to be, person, impossible to be, and so on, yeah? Yeah. So it means that we have a set of different members which are mutually contradictory. Yeah. Very good. Very good. Then also the distinction, yeah, like in many textbooks, we have the divisions, the main division of permanent phenomena in Rengawetarpa, or temporary permanent, and Du Tempetarpa, eternally permanent in one sense. Yeah. Wow, very good, very good. So next time we will try to debate a little bit about that. I would like to go in the established base chapter. So maybe in the files I sent you last time, you have the charts with established base and its equivalent, and functioning thing, its equivalent, and permanent phenomena and its equivalence. That's very useful to understand the Zootrantika philosophy. Yeah? Very useful. I will publish again, yeah, in the WhatsApp group. Yeah. Thank you so much from the depth of my heart, because it's not very easy, as you know, but you manage very, very well. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you so much, really. Thank you. Thanks to everyone. And so try to do that exercise if you wish, yeah, to finish to compare eternal and permanent. And then for next time, I will have another set of slides, yeah? Okay? Thank you so much. Thank you, Nicola, and thank you, everyone, yeah?
Hi, this is Lavanya here. This is my first time and I really didn't understand anything. I hope to cover all the previous 6 sessions and, really, really make the best of it in the coming session. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing. Thank you so much.
Great pleasure, really, really.
Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much.
much. See you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. See you next
Thank
time.
Bye-bye.
you,
Thank you.
Tushita.
Thank you, Nicola.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Salut, Nicolas.